Hello, boys and girls. This is Ray. It's been a long time since I've posted anything on YouTube. I had my Japanese CDs and music channel, and it worked out kind of. But I think now I'm gonna make a little bit of a change, and I'm gonna do something different. So now I'm just gonna call it Ray on Music, and we're gonna talk about all things, whether it be CD, SACD, vinyl. I'm probably not going to cover cassettes or 8-track or any of the older formats, things like that. I'm just going to stick with the main stuff. But today, first episode of what I hope will be an ongoing channel. But before I get into what today's title is, I want to give thanks to certain people out there that have kind of motivated me to do this. Number one, Mike Esposito at the In Groove Records in Phoenix, Arizona. I'd like to thank you, buddy. Jay Ziyagi for all the stuff he does. Michael Fremer for everything that he does. I forgot the guy from Germany. But you know who, the German guy. Yeah, I forget his name. But yeah, anyway. And then, of course, Chad Kassem from Analog Productions, Acoustic Sounds, Quality Record Pressings. And I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody else. There's Safe and Sound Texas. I'd like to thank you because I like your reviews. Kenny, I love your reviews too, buddy. Like I said, you are a stud, so I appreciate you. But today's topic, the first of what is going to be many, I hope, we're going to talk about Better Records and Tom Port. So I decided to pull the trigger on a few of these. I have 9 of these Better Records, of the Super Hot Stampers. First one I got was the Cars Heartbeat City, and that sounded amazing. But, I only compared it to the MoFi release, and it bested the MoFi release. But then again, so did my Japanese pressing. I had a neighbor come over, and we did a shootout between the Japanese pressing and the nearly white hot stamper. And we couldn't hear a difference at all. Maybe we just don't have the ears. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's my gear. I like to think my gear is adequate. I'm running just to fill you in. I've got a Denon DP 3000 NE turntable with a Ortofon Quintet black cartridge. I'm running Zoo Audio Soul 6s, and each one of those is backed up by a REL Classic 98 sub. I have a Yamaha AS3200 integrated amplifier. I have a Yamaha CDS 2100 SACD CD player. I also have an older Accuphase CD player that I use primarily just for CDs. I'm weird like that. I also have a Blue Sound Vault to, take care of my streaming. I don't do a lot of streaming, but, I do listen to music that I rip to it. And that's pretty much it. My cable is all Kimber because I'm here in Ogden, Utah. So it's, they're just right down the road from me. Great guys. I mean, I'm not going to say that their cables make everything sound better, but it doesn't do any harm. I will say that much. It does no harm whatsoever. And when I pulled it out, I noticed the difference. That's just me. Your mileage will vary, of course. I have a collection of vinyl records closing in on, I think, about 600 titles. I have about 400 or 500 CDs, and I have about 300 SACDs. And but like I said, today's topic is not my gear, even though I did want to mention that. Today's topic is Better Records. So I bought this pressing right here. This is a Super Hot Stamper. This is Rough and Tumble Stanley Turntine. As you can see right there, it includes Better Records, and then it has their little grade right there, A plus to A plus plus, and then A plus plus for side 2. It sounds great. It really does sound great. I put it on, and one of the first things I noticed is it is very open, very lively. And then after I put that on the first track is And Satisfy, I pulled out my Tom Port copy. And I put this on the turntable, played it, and I noticed that it didn't sound as lively or open. But that was until I discovered one thing. The levels on these are not quite the same. Now, one thing that Rudy Van Gelder did back in the day when he recorded a lot of his Blue Note titles is he cut them hot. Now, I don't think Kevin Gray cut this as hot, because once I turned it up, was there a minor difference between the two? Yes, there was. I mean, it goes in favor of the Super Hot Stamper, but it was just minor. I mean, once you got the volume matched. It just wasn't as noticeable anymore. I mean, once again, your mileage may vary. Now, I'm not saying Better Records is a scam. I'm not saying that at all, because he does have some good points that he makes. But one thing I will point out, and this is, you can take this as you will. You might think I'm bad mouthing Tom Port, but I'm not. But if you want to sell your product, sell it on its own merits. Don't sell your product by bashing everybody else. And that's a lot of what they do, especially when you go over to the Skeptical Audiophile. That's all that is just bashing. I mean, they say, how can MoFi still be in business? How can Kevin Gray still get work? Why is Bernie Grundman answering Chad Kassem's phone calls? I mean, these are just, it's dirty pool. I mean, there's no reason to do that. If your product, stands on its own, then you don't need to bash everybody else. I mean, I don't hear Chad Kassem bashing Tom Port. I don't hear Bernie Grundman, Kevin Gray, or anybody else for that matter bashing Tom Port. But Tom Port loves to bash other people. It's, Tom, if I had a message for you, that it would just be stop. If you believe in your product so much, that's great. That's, you should. But the fact of the matter is, you better have something better. I know that sounds a bit redundant, sorry. But, if you're going to charge, okay, people can pick up Axis Bold as Love right now, 45 RPM pressing, UHQR from Acoustic Sounds for $150. Okay, I saw a copy, I think it was a Super Hot Stamper, for $600. So 4 times the price. Well, for 4 times the price, there better be some improvement. I mean, a lot of improvement for that matter, not just a little bit. I mean, I know it says on your website, it says blow everything else that you ever heard away. Well, I'm sorry, my friend. To my ears, it hasn't blown. I mean, there has been some betterment, but it hasn't blown everything away. It's not like it's like night and day difference. Like, oh my goodness, this is the Holy Grail. Sure, the copies you find and you dig up, they're great sounding copies. And I applaud you because you're like a curator. I mean, you sit there, you find them, you clean them, and you test them. You sonically test them. You don't just sit there and look at them and say, oh, this looks great. Okay, I'll sell this for a couple $100. No, you actually play grade it. And I appreciate that. And I'm sure everybody else does too. I'm sure your clients do. But, there's just a better way of doing things. There's no need to sit there and insult everybody else. I mean, Bernie Grundman is a world-renowned mastering engineer. And to say that he's lost his touch, I mean, that's rude. I mean, I'm not trying to fight everybody's battles for them, but that's just rude. I mean, you're driving away people by doing that. I mean, sure, you offer a guarantee on your product, and that is very respectable because no record company will do that. I mean, they'll, Analog Productions, Acoustic Sounds, I mean, if you get something that's damaged or has something wrong with it, sure, they'll replace it. But other than that, I mean, if it doesn't sound up to your standards, they're not going to give you a refund. So, yeah, I mean, it's, you're talking, once again, not a huge difference. I mean, the Tone Poet was $40. The Rough and Tumble that I got, I think I got it on sale, so I wound up paying like $75 for it. So almost twice as much, And I know Kenny, if you're listening to this, which I hope you are, Kenny put it like this. He said, you're not, when something's 4 times the price, you're never going to get 4 times the sound. I mean, it's going to be incremental, like when Michael Phelps breaks a swimming record or anybody breaks a record. It's by milliseconds or a second. So, it's up to the end consumer whether or not they want to spend almost twice as much to get something that sounds maybe a little bit better. I obviously, for copyright reasons, I can't sit here and I can do 15 seconds of this and 15 seconds of this, but it's not going to come out through my phone. I mean, it hardly ever does. I'd have to do something pretty cool to do that. And I don't have, I'm just starting this now, so I don't have the budget. I don't have the whole production or everything fancy. I just have what I have. But the copies of the hot stampers, the super hot stampers I picked up, let's see, I got John Coltrane, my favorite things. I got this one, of course. I got the Cars, Heartbeat City. I got Stevie Nicks, Belladonna. Or no, not Belladonna, excuse me. I got Stevie Nicks, which one was that? The Wild Heart, yeah. And I got some other ones. I forgot. Well, I could dig them out. So hang tight 1 second. Here we go. All right, so, oh yeah. Okay, here's the, super hot stamper of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Couldn't stand the weather, okay? That wasn't bad, didn't pay that much for that. Now Stevie Nicks, like I said, I didn't pay that much for it. I do believe I got these when they had, it was $50 a pop on Christmas or something like that. So I got this one. I got Hall & Oates, H2O. I got the Eagles On the Border. Now this sounds fantastic, but I compared it to the MoFi One Step. And you're hard pressed to tell a difference. I mean, maybe it's the level, I don't know. The One Step is very quiet. So compared to this is not noisy, but it's not super quiet either. It's just not very noisy. And I got Fleetwood Mac Mirage. Sounds great. I mean, all these actually sound good. They sound great, even. I mean, in this one, I really like. But case in point with this, I also have a Japanese pressing. And once again, it was hard. Couldn't really tell the difference. I mean, that's just me. But, I like the idea of having a copy that I can go to and play all the time, because my Japanese pressings, I like to just keep those on the shelf because they're interesting conversation pieces. That's just me. And I also have Mirage Japanese pressing, and I have On the Border Japanese pressing, and then I have Stevie Nicks, the Wild Hearted Japanese pressing. But when compared to these hot stampers or super hot stampers, to my ears, on my system, it's never been night and day. I mean, it's been incremental. And if going in increments is worth it to you, that's great. To me, it is. I mean, when I'm buying newer stuff, when I'm buying my UHQRs, which I have close to 20 of them now, I do enjoy the sound of the UHQRs. I think they sound fantastic. Now, if I can get one of these super hot stampers of one of those same albums for the same price, I might do it. Then it's worth it. But I mean, we're talking Kind of Blue. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to find Kind of Blue for $150 in, even a hot stamper. And then let alone the Steely Dan albums. You're probably not going to find those for $150 for hot or super hot stamper. And you definitely won't find Jimi Hendrix or the John Coltrane's or the Bill Evans or the Sonny Rollins or the Art Pepper, Bob Marley's. I doubt very seriously you will ever find those for a comparable price. So, I don't think enough people online and on YouTube have talked about this. So I'm bringing it up. So that's my take, Tom, once again, if you're listening, I think it's great that what you're doing. I mean, a lot of people appreciate what you do, and so do I. But, you're probably driving way more people than you're getting just by the insults. I mean, let your product stand on its own merits instead of going out there and bashing everybody else. I mean, because at the end of the day, it is music. It is subjective. Some people like loud music, and we're going to save that discussion for another episode. But, and you like what you like. People like what they like. When you insult the person, you have, Kevin Gray has a lot of fans, and when you insult him, you're insulting his fans. Bernie Grundman has a lot of fans around the world, and when you insult him, you're insulting his fans. When you're insulting anybody, you're insulting the fans of what they offer. So just kind of stop. I know you're probably not going to listen because you don't have to, because who am I? I'm just some random guy on YouTube. But hopefully that will change and I'll grow. But yeah, that's my take on Better Records and their whole process, and the super hot stampers, white hot stampers. I mean, do they sound great? Yeah, they sound great. Do most modern reissues sound great? They sound great too. I guess it just all depends on who's selling what. I mean, when you're selling something for 3 times the price of a reissue, or in the Eagles case, it's probably maybe about 1.5 times price, because you're comparing it to the One Steps. Just I don't know, folks. Leave your comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Help me grow this channel. I will try to be respectable as possible to everybody out there. It's not my intent to insult anybody or to slight anybody, but when there's something like this, I feel the need to kind of call it out and, just ask the person to doing it to stop. If you disagree, leave a comment. If you agree, leave a comment. Either way, I'll be happy with it. But anyway, that is the end of our first episode. I haven't even thought of a name for this channel yet. I think I'm going to call it Rayon Music. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to post this video. That today is June 25th, 2026, and maybe it'll be posted by the 26th or 27th. We'll see. But thanks for watching. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and as the Buddha says, Namo Amida Butsu. Have a great day. Bye.